Clutter just isn't physical. It's a mental weight dragging you down every day.
And every item you hold on to, just in case you need it, is a chain to the past, preventing you from embracing the present.
Imagine missing out on life's moments because you're too overwhelmed by the chaos around you.
This is going to be the best video ever, so hold on. This is going to be good, I'm telling you right now. Don't leave. And if you're new here, I'm Mark, and this is my wife, Jody.
We don't focus on the financial aspects of retirement, but rather your lifestyle, your health, your relationships, and much more.
So please hit the subscribe button and the notification button. That way you get notified when our new videos come out. And do us a favor, share this with someone you care about who's also on their retirement journey. At the end of this video, we're going to share with you the 20 things you need to get rid of right now and how we did it. So that's going to be fun. So hang on to the end. But
before we get started,
we want to talk about your mom.
Yeah. So you all may have heard, many times I reference my mom. She was a big force in my life. And she unfortunately passed away in 2017 after a 1-year battle with pancreatic cancer. And, my mom wasn't, didn't have a lot of stuff and things, but the stuff and things she had, my pop really held on to. Held on to in their current form at the present moment years later.
And he did say how hard it was to get her clothes and give them away. He just didn't have the bandwidth to do it. It's hard. It has to be hard.
He didn't, but he took advantage of an unfortunate event, actually the hurricane that hit Puerto Rico. And my mom was a petite, stylish woman. And he, at that time in Philadelphia, met with a state representative and actually gathered up all my mom's clothes and put them on a shipment to Puerto Rico. That was the catalyst for him to begin the decluttering of things that were very emotional for him. And we're going to talk about that.
Without that catalyst, there's a good chance some of that stuff would still be there. And the things,
maybe
this whole idea,
but it's hard. I think that's the first point. I was going to say,
the whole thing about decluttering is not easy. And if you don't have a catalyst like that, you just, do we really need these mugs anymore? We've had them forever. Do we need them? Because we have new ones. So it's a hard process. And I think just jumping into why is decluttering so hard, we get emotionally attached to things. I think it's as easy as that.
Well, I agree. And, I also think there's a fear of needing your items in the future, right? Like, I probably have 4 black sweaters. I probably only need
12.
2. I don't have 12.
You have 12?
I don't.
I counted them just this morning for this video.
No, you didn't. Tell everyone you're not telling the truth.
I'm close. I'm exaggerating just by a little bit.
You have a fear of, well, do I need the shorter one, the longer one, the V-neck, the fear of needing them in the future is not a reason to keep things.
No, and the other thing is people have problem decluttering because the overwhelming amount of stuff that you have, the volume to get rid of. You go into a bedroom or a closet and you look at it and there's just stuff everywhere. The shelf, the closet, down on the floor, and you're like, I'm going to do this some other day. Because it takes energy and time.
It is, and I remember back in the height of my career always saying like, at some point I should get rid of, at some point I should get rid of. I don't have the time.
Yeah.
But now we actually do have the time to go through room by room and figure out how to do it.
So the second problem with decluttering is, you touched on it a minute ago, but the main fears of letting go of the item, again, sentimental value and emotional value to the item. You just think, God, that my mom gave me that or my grandmother gave me that, but there's no use for it, right?
Right. And sometimes you even just have guilt, right? If you bought something and it was maybe expensive or moderately expensive, and then you're like, well, if I get rid of it, I just waste the money.
Yeah, that's a huge thing.
So you have this guilt associated with the monetary value of the item you don't use.
You don't use it. It just sits there on the shelf. Right. Frankly, if it's worth something, that means it's worth something to someone else who doesn't have it. So either you give it to them as a gift or you sell it. You know?
And there's also, sometimes there's social pressures, right? Your loved one gives you a gift and you're not really sure what to do with it, so you hang on to it for years and years and years.
Or whenever they show up, you take it out and then you put it back in the box where you hide it.
Yeah.
That was kind of supposed to be a joke. You're supposed to laugh.
Yeah, no, I'm not laughing because I actually see you do that sometimes.
It's
the
not
kids
true,
are coming over and
Mark brings out,
your
stuff is always out. But, and I think that regret over getting rid of something that your mom gave you, or your dad, or your brother or sister, or the kids. There's regret over getting rid of it.
Yeah. But there are some steps that we can talk about maybe at this point on, how to decide to declutter an item.
On each item.
Yeah.
So let's take an item. Let's not take an item because I can't think of one. But I
can think of.
Go ahead.
I can think of one.
Pick on me.
I have a really nice briefcase.
Okay. All right.
I have a really nice briefcase from all my years in corporate America, and
Got
it
it.
is awesome.
Okay. Does that currently bring you any joy, or is there any utility for that to still be in your possession?
No.
Okay, that's checkbox number one. Does the item bring you joy or utility? When was the last time you used it?
5 years ago.
Okay, so that's
It's bad.
that's bad.
Yeah.
So where is it right now?
It's actually in our bedroom. We have 2 chairs, and it's behind one of the chairs.
Oh, that's that pile of behind your chair. Okay, so visualize that space, because I can visualize the space without that item.
Right.
Open, clean, and airy. We're gonna get rid of it today. Now let me ask you this last question, Jody.
Yes, Mark.
Would you buy that same item new today?
I don't need it.
Yes, a yes or no answer.
The answer is no.
Okay, then we're getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Where's it going?
We'll
put it in the pile in the garage. We're starting a pile today for the Goodwill.
Yep, we can take it to Goodwill.
So let's.
For sure.
So that was a good exercise.
Yeah.
That's the exercise you can go through with every item, one at a time. Don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah, ask yourself those questions.
All right.
They were good questions.
The benefits of minimalism. I stutter, so I wanted to make sure I got that word out right. Minimalism.
Yep.
Having less gives you clarity and reduced stress. Whenever I sit in that chair in the bedroom, when I see that briefcase, it always stresses me out. And I'm going to be such a more calm husband after you get rid of that briefcase. So what about minimalism? What else? And then we're going to jump into our list.
It actually provides you a little bit more time and energy because there's less cleaning and organizing when you have less stuff and things to clean.
We can vacuum under that chair now. Uh-huh.
And if you're a minimalist, you do less impulsive buying. So
That's true.
there could be some good financial ramifications.
Well,
on that.
that you bring up a good point. There's decluttering. And then there's also preventing you from having to declutter ever again by buying stuff that you're really never going to use. Impulsive purchase. With Amazon the way it is, oh my goodness. So
yeah, that's true.
Anyway, the other thing is when you're a minimalist, you learn to appreciate the things that you do have that you care about more. Those things that really provide you value.
Yep, I agree.
Okay.
So let's go through our list of 20 relatively easy things
that we do all the time
to declutter. Well, we could do better.
Well, first of all,
we could do better.
And our kids help us with this. Number one, expired foods in the pantry and the fridge. Now, I say our kids help us. They go in the fridge, they look at the date on something, they put it back, close the door, and a day later we say, oh, by the way, your ketchup is out of date. Well, did you take it out? No. But listen, once a year we go through our pantry and our fridge, dates out.
And it's easy to stockpile those things, isn't it? Along that lines, expired medications, cold medicines, Tylenol, Advil, Aleve, whatever your medication of choice is.
Look under the bathroom sink.
Yeah. I found one yesterday from 2019.
What? Medicine?
It was an Advil from 2019. And I thought,
I don't know whether it's
true or not.
Just get rid of it. Because what happens is you buy a new one and you'll get rid of the old one.
Yeah. This next one is me to a T. I love flowers, and any of you who've been into my home, you know that I love flowers. I cut flowers, I grow flowers, I get flowers. I'm a flower girl. With that comes a lot of vases. And they take up a lot of room in kitchens, in counters, in the dining room.
Freaking cabinets, they're everywhere.
All the cabinets. And so
down in the basement now,
what I've
on the
started
shelves.
doing now is when we have company over for dinner, I make vases for the centerpiece, and then I send them home with the company.
So we're going to hold a dinner party next week for 100 people. And we'll all get a vase.
And I'd still have vases. But I should downsize the vases and take them back to the floral shop.
All right, the fourth thing. Old worn towels and linens. There's nothing worse than getting out of the shower and drying off with a towel that's ripped. It doesn't have to be that way.
Right.
Now, that towel is meaningful to someone else that doesn't own a towel.
Right.
But, getting new linens once in a while is not a bad idea. But getting rid of the linens that you don't use anymore, if you're okay with a ripped towel, that's fine.
Well, not only
But
that,
we can't use all the linens in our closet.
well, we also inherited linens from
That's
our
true.
kids when they got back from college,
Right.
and they wanted to have blue towels one year and white towels the next year, or whatever
All
it
right.
is. So yeah,
Here's a couple of things. Number 5, clothing. If I haven't worn a shirt in a year or a pair of pants or something, Goodwill. It's
Yeah.
easy. 6, broken toys, puzzles,
Yeah.
games. You know, we like to play games with the kids, but if there's stuff that's broken or incomplete, don't leave it in your house. I know it's hard to throw it out, but if the puzzle's missing a piece, it's really no good to no one.
yeah, that's true.
It's no good to no one.
No good to no one.
No good to anyone.
The 7th thing is broken furniture. You might be trying to keep something together or for posterity's sake, or maybe it has intrinsic value to you. But if it's broken and you can't fix it, get it out. I love this one because I have, and actually our grandson has a whole closet of these, and he's only 5, is Halloween costumes.
Right.
Once Halloween is over, donate the costume unless it's something you can reuse, for sure.
Well, the next thing, number 9, you can donate as well, old sports equipment. I'm not going to use that lacrosse stick ever again. As a matter of fact, I don't even own one. You do. You have 4 of them.
I do.
And they're from college.
I know.
It's time to get rid of them.
I know. Okay, well, here's something you can get rid of. Duplicate cookware.
No, in case we have that party for
There
100
you go.
people, I need 16 frying pans.
Lots of communication around
There
this.
is duplicate cookware that we do give away. Now,
We do.
we on a regular basis, we look, and we have a Goodwill in, where is
Clinton.
it? Clinton, Connecticut, and we take stuff there all the time.
Yep.
Purses, belts, and shoes.
Yeah, that was mine. Purses, belts, and shoes.
Well, certainly not mine.
Well, you have belts and shoes.
I do.
But purses and belts and shoes, I tend to acquire quite a few. So that's a good thing and a quick thing to get rid of. The other thing is excess luggage.
Yeah, we haven't done this yet. We're going
We
to.
need to do
because
that.
We've been married 15 years. We bought luggage twice. So we have 2 old sets.
But we also have
that we
all the
don't
kids'
use.
old luggage. That's the other
That's
thing.
true. So
Yeah.
that's got to go to Goodwill.
Yep. The other thing
business
is
books.
old business books, old novels. We did that when we cleared out your mom's house. I mean, the libraries or even the Veterans Association love old books. I mean, that's a good place to get rid of them.
Here's one I struggle with, and I have piles of them,
Mm-hmm.
old tools. And going through this exercise really has me motivated to say, I haven't used these tools in 30 years.
Because
They were
you
my-
used to be handy. Whoops.
I use some tools, but these are tools that my dad had and his
Right.
father had. So my grandfather, you know what? I just have to donate them. My kids don't want them. I don't want them.
Right.
Along those lines, number 15 is old electronics and cables.
Yeah.
They-
we have some of that.
We have
laying around.
boxes of them.
Yeah,
boxes.
old Kindles that don't work anymore. All those things.
All right.
Here's
This
one.
one, this is big deal.
This is a hard one, though.
Well, photographs,
Right.
and we're going to do an episode just on photographs because we went to the warehouse. We just closed it down, brought back 15 boxes of photographs, including the old home movies, and we're working with Scan My Photos. There's a link below. Actually, we have a great 20% discount for you to use their services.
Right.
We're going to take advantage of that. But
Definitely.
number 16 is photographs. We got to find a way to get rid of them.
Number 17 is tough for us. We have 6 kids, and we have a lot of their old sentimental items. We have report cards and things they made in the 2nd grade, and poems that they wrote or stories
And
that
what
they've
was
done.
my great idea yesterday?
I don't know if it's a great
It's
idea.
you guys let us know. Leave it in the comments. Is this a good idea on the kids' crap that they left back
It's not
or that we
crap.
saved? We saved. What are we going to do?
Mark would like to give the kids little boxes of their childhood things, poems,
Their war awards, their books.
each for their birthdays and holidays.
Yeah, box, sentimental items. Because if we give them the whole box, they're going to get annoyed. They have little apartments, they have no room, but we're going to just dole it out over the next 30
I
years.
imagine their significant others will be sending that stuff right back to us.
I
but
think the best
okay.
idea ever. And that's 18 trophies, awards, and proclamations from our career
Right.
growing up. We just have to get rid of that stuff.
I think this next one's hard, and it's old holiday decorations. Maybe you have a box that you bring out every year, and then you look and you say, I don't use this anymore. That's a tough one, but it is something to go through because other people could use those.
You know what I just found in the storage room, and I have
This is
boxes
number
of it.
20?
No,
Oh,
no. Well, maybe.
what?
Yeah, I would say heirlooms that have been passed down is number 20, but because you wrote egg beaters. My great-grandfather had a collection of egg beaters. I still have them. What am I going to do with those? But the trains.
Oh, yeah, you have beautiful trains.
The Lionel trains.
Yeah.
My kids don't want them. I don't want them.
I think
So that's
Johnny wants him for Luca.
Well, I'm going to ship the whole thing then.
Oh,
but,
gosh.
So
Sorry,
old
Johnny.
holiday decorations, heirlooms that have been passed down. These are things that we all need to do better. And we should, you know what we can do? We're going to make it a game. We're going to start off with vases, and we're going to have a treasure hunt in the house, and we're going to find all the vases, put them on a counter, and either decide are we having a dinner party or are they going back to the floor?
I think we should start with tools.
Too late. So anyway, you could make it a fun thing out of it to go find all your shirts you haven't worn in a year, let's say. So
here's the thing. It's not easy, and we get it. But having your living space overflowing with so many items can create unwanted stress, and we don't want that for you.
We hope you enjoyed this. We had fun. I told you it'd be a fun video, but watch this next one. Instead of downsizing your home, try this. That's what it's called. And we give you 10 inexpensive tips on how to upgrade your home after you declutter.